Big Ten Today is fueled by Gatorade.
The list of records being set by this UCLA softball offense continues to grow at the same rate the Bruins force opposing pitching staffs to go to their bullpens. Our Gatorade Big Stat shows you that with games still left to play, Megan Grant has already set the single-season home run record. Riley Slimp now owns the same in the run scored category. And Jordan Woolery's 102 RBI also setting a new standard in Westwood. And we are thrilled to welcome Jordan in for today's big interview. All smiles, Jordan. That's what I see every time I watch you and the Bruins.
Let's welcome in Jordan Woolery.
How much fun are you guys having?
Woolery is a softball player for UCLA.
It's honestly been so much fun. I feel like this is probably one of the most fun teams I've been on since I've been at UCLA. And I think it's just the freshmen and all the new Bruins that bring such a good energy, and it's honestly contagious.
So what's that relationship been like for you and Megan and the rest of the veterans to mix and mingle with the young kids who are coming along and adding that kind of boost of energy to the program that you just referenced?
Yeah, this fall, our field was getting redone, which I feel like was a blessing in disguise because we got a lot more time places to practice. And I think it honestly turned out to be a really good bonding moment for all of us because we spent a lot of time in the car, in the bus, traveling to games, and even practice day to day. So I think it was a good moment for us. And honestly, now looking back, I'm honestly grateful it happened. And I'm grateful to spend time with them every day, even now.
Obviously, you guys are rolling on the field, 15 straight wins. Every roster, as you know, you've been on multiple, that even if you change one player for another, it has a different personality. So when you start to think about this team's personality, what do you think the superpower of the 2026 UCLA Bruins softball team is?
I feel like, honestly, just the youthfulness, but also the fight that we have within the team. I think our resilience is a big part of our success this year. And I feel like no matter what the situation is, no matter how many runs we've scored, or if we're down by a few runs, it doesn't matter. I think it's just focusing on playing our game and also just worrying about one pitch at a time, too.
It's unique that you talked about the field being redone because when you play at home this year, you're unbeatable. And I'm not just saying that from a figurative sense. I mean it literally. You haven't lost at home this year. You're 17-0. So how do you describe kind of that home field advantage that you guys have there with the fan base that you have supporting you in Westwood?
Yeah, we love being at Easton. I think it's just so historic, and there's so many good memories there. And I think we have the best fans, too, especially this weekend. We want to sell out for senior weekend. So I think it's going to be really good and a really fun weekend just to continue it and keep it rolling, too.
Yeah, I know I've spoken with you in the past. I've spoken with Megan in the past. And you never mind being mentioned in the same breath. And that's what so many folks do because of your obvious connections in terms of where you hit, how you hit, the relationship. What is that relationship like from your side? And I don't just mean on the field and in the locker room. I mean when you guys leave the field and you're doing stuff that's non-softball related.
Yeah, I think it's very special. I think our relationship is very unique in the way that we really want to see each other succeed and have a lot of success, and I feel like that's very rare. And even last night, like a few of us, we went to the movies. Like we watched the Michael Jackson movie last night. So like we're all into hanging out off the field and doing stuff together, and I think it makes it a lot more fun on the field when we have those good memories and have that good camaraderie off the field too.
All right, so two questions regarding the movie. Number one, who's the leader? Who's the one that always sets up the plans like that? And number two, how was the movie?
Taylor Tinsley, she is always planning stuff. She's definitely the most organized. She has it all planned out. So like I think like 13 of us went to the movies last night and it was really fun, really good. And the movie was literally, it honestly changed my life. It was literally so good. The dancing, the music was honestly insane. It was such a good movie. Everyone needs to watch it. I want to watch it again already, honestly.
All right, perfect. I know what I got plans for this afternoon after we're done the show. I'm glad you bring up Taylor, and we've mentioned Megan as well because the three of you had such a special moment. I love the addition to college softball of the AUSL, the Athletes Unlimited Softball League, coming in with these golden tickets provided to players and guaranteeing them a spot in the draft, knowing you'll play pro softball. For the three of you to enjoy that at the same time, can you try to describe what that moment was like for you and for Taylor and for Megan as well?
It honestly was so special. I think doing it all together made it even more sweet. And they did it in honestly kind of a crazy way. They did it one at a time, which made it even more nerve-wracking because we were like waiting for the next one and like waiting for the next one. But I think it was really cool to see and really cool to be a part of, especially for all three of us coming in together and then being able to leave together, but not only leaving, but going on to our next chapter too. I think it makes it way more special too.
And how cool is it for college softball as a whole, which, Jordan, as I'm sure that you've seen, is crushing it in terms of the popularity and the viewership and how many people want to show up for these games, but also now for folks to understand that when you're done in college, if they're loving watching what you're doing on the field, they don't have to be done. They're going to get to watch you at the next level as well.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. Even since my freshman year, we've seen the growth so much. If you would ask me my freshman year if I wanted to keep playing after college, I probably would have said no. But now to be in a position to be able to keep playing and have some of my best friends beside me and also the people I've grown up with at other schools continue their journey too, I think it's really cool. And it's just really good for women's sports in general too.
Okay, so are you a stat watcher? For example, you're at 102 RBI right now. Did you know when you were at 99? Were teammates having to remind you that you were 1 RBI away from the century mark?
That was one stat I think I've kept up in my 4 years just because Taylor and Lefty, they have been we've been talking about it a little bit all year. So when I was close, I knew I was close. But I think towards the beginning of the year, it was kind of just like a distant goal and like a distant idea. But as I reached closer marks, I felt I'm really, really close. And then that Saturday it happened so fast. So I'm honestly happy it all happened in one day versus kind of like a slow burn of having to wait a few more games too.
All right, so I want to ask you a little bit about your teammates. I mentioned the 102. That's a record in terms of RBI for UCLA. Riley Slimp now has the record for runs scored. So from a teammate's perspective, what's it like to watch Riley continually get on base and find a way to manufacture runs?
It's honestly so impressive what she's been doing. I feel like she's been one of the most consistent people we've had in the lineup throughout the whole year. And I think it's really impressive to see the way she can get on base. She'll hit over the fence. She'll get doubles in the gaps. Her 2-strike approach is literally insane. Probably one of the best I've ever seen. So I think it's just her versatility and her way to get on base any way she can. And then also score any way she can too.
What's it like to watch Taylor Tinsley mow down opposing offenses?
It's awesome seeing Tins just do her thing from our freshman year to now. And we're roommates too, so I just understand what she's going through. I feel like on a different level, and I see the hard work she puts in day out, and just how much she cares about her craft and what she does, and like how much she wants to get better too. I think that's the most impressive part, expanding her game even in her senior year. I think that's something that's really impressive, and honestly, she inspires me every day to keep pushing and keep doing my thing too.
What's it like to watch your co-slugger, Megan Grant, hit bombs?
It's so cool. I think just watching greatness in front of me is such an honor, and I feel like I have the best seat. I get to watch her hit every day. Even being on deck too, I'm like 5 feet away from her, and I feel like it's so cool to see what she's doing, and it's so impressive. And I think just how hardworking she is, I strive to be like her too in that sense. It's awesome to see.
Obviously, Coach I is the one kind of running the show. She always seems so chill and calm, Jordan. It's like she has this kind of aura around her that nothing really seems to bother her. What's she like to play for?
It's awesome, honestly. I think the best part about Coach I is just how much she cares about us as people versus softball players, and I feel like that's what allows us to be more successful. I feel like oftentimes you can get caught up in performance, but she wants to understand what's going on with us on a deeper level, and I think that's what leads to success on the field when you understand your head coach cares about you more than just your stats and how you're doing day to day in the games and stuff.
Any good inside stories or insight that you can share about Coach I that may either surprise us, or a story or two that only you guys know that you're willing to share, especially with the fact that you're so good that you know you're not going to get benched even if you make this public?
I don't know if there's anything I could share. Maybe once I'm an alum, I can share more, but maybe not right now. Yeah. Call me in like 2 months and then I'll let you know.
Fair enough. All right.
Now.
I got our producer on it right now. We're getting your number in 2 months when you're out and Coach I can't sit you on the bench. I'll ask that question again. All right, Jordan, let's finish here. You have a massive home series coming up this weekend against the team that trails you by, I believe, 1 game in the standings. So what's the approach to that Oregon series and that Oregon pitching staff, which appears to finally be healthy for the first time in a long time?
Yeah, I think just continuing to play UCLA softball no matter who the opponent is. I think that's the biggest thing and the biggest part of our success. Not worrying too much about who we're playing, but just focusing on playing our game, and offensively just focusing on touching first base, and defensively just trying to get as many outs as we can and having our pitchers' backs is the biggest part.
And we are excited to have that entire series for you on the Big Ten Network. It goes Friday through Sunday in Oregon, at UCLA, I should say, Oregon and UCLA, a 3-game set. Jordan, this has been a ton of fun. Mark it down on your calendars when you're done. We're following up on that question on Coach I. Wish you the best of luck not just this weekend, but the rest of the season as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you
That's
for having me.
Jordan
That's
Woolley.
good stuff right there. We'll get back